I met Tom Hiddleston. I met Tom Hiddleston. Let's get into the story time. Hello everyone and welcome back once again to this YouTube channel. I hope you had an amazing day or night so far, and welcome to my channel. If you don't know who I am and you're new here, my name is Marta, and today we are going to talk about something very, very exciting. I wanted it to feel a little bit more cozy for today's video since we're doing a story time. So I'm here in my room, just sitting in my bed, and we also have my cup of tea. It's gonna be interesting, so I had to bring a cup of tea, you know what I mean? So without further ado, let's start this story time, shall we? Before we start today's video, I just want to let you guys know that if you are looking for a sign to let you know that your dreams are not too crazy, they're not too big, they're not too ambitious for them to happen, this is the sign, okay? This video is the literal exact sign that you are looking for. I am saying this because this story time literally talks about one of the biggest dreams I had back in the day. And they were one of those dreams that I literally thought were impossible to happen. But this is the proof that dreams can literally come true. It doesn't matter what your dream is and what is specifically related to. I just hope that this video can bring like some light into your eyes and into your perspective about life. And I hope it can show you that your dreams are not impossible. They're not too crazy. And trust me, life can make things change like in such a short period of time. Things can happen, okay? Things happen. Dreams do come true. Even the ones that might sound impossible in your head, even those can literally become a reality. So before we start, just let me drink some tea because things are about to get really crazy out here. It's tasty. So everything started back in November/December of 2018. And we were having an English class. And our teacher came to us with the idea of traveling to London. So after our teacher talked about the whole plan that was our visit to London, we had to obviously talk with our parents and let them know about this trip and ask them if we could go and, you know, to proceed to all the payments and all the paperwork and all that stuff, you know. And so after December, January came, then February, March, and then our trip was on the 10th of April to the 15th of April of 2019. So the day we had to leave to the airport came, we were all very excited, very pumped. We got there and we waited a couple of hours because we had to do all those like check-ins and like, you know, check the bags and everything. So after all of that, we got into our flight, and after a few hours, we were finally landing in London. And this is when the magic started happening. So on the first few days, while we were visiting London, we visited a lot of different places. We went to Madame Tussauds, we went on the London Eye, we visited the Tower Bridge, a lot of other things. There was a lot to see because London is a really, really big city. So on the 13th of April, right, everything started when the day before, my teacher said, we have to visit Piccadilly Circus tomorrow. Like, we cannot leave this city without visiting Piccadilly Circus. That is a must for everyone who decides to travel to London. And I was like, what is Piccadilly Circus? Like, I did not know a thing about London except like the most known monuments. When we got to Piccadilly Circus, I was like, oh, this is Piccadilly Circus. But nothing else came into my mind. So after we got there, our teacher said that we could have lunch wherever we liked because there was a lot of restaurants we could choose from. And we could also explore the area for a few hours after that. And we could just be there and looking around and exploring. But after, we all had to be meeting up at this exact spot at 4 p.m. So after that, me and my friends decided to have lunch in Pizza Hut. We were like craving pizza, so we got some pizza. So after lunch, we all got outside and we were talking about what were we going to do next, like where were we going? And one of my friends, she looks at me and she says, "Do you still want to go to that theater?" And I looked at her and I was like, "What theater?" Like I was really confused about what she was talking about. And then I was like, oh, the theater, right. But then I asked her, but isn't that like super far away from here? Like it's probably like miles away and we can't even like go there. She searched on Google Maps and she actually found out that that theater was like 2 minutes away from us, walking. We literally just had to walk down the street, turn right, and we were at the theater. So we did that. And let me tell you, as soon as I saw the facade of the theater, I was shooketh.
What? What?
I was shooketh for life because I could not believe the theater that I was always seeing on Instagram, like, oh my God, I'm going to see him, I'm going to see him acting, blah, blah, blah. Like everyone was talking about it. I couldn't believe I was literally in front of it. I was like, whoa, this is insane. I started feeling so pumped inside, like my heart started beating so fast. And I was like crazy, okay? So as soon as we got there, we had the information about what time did the play start, like at the afternoon and at night. Because this play was taking part twice a day, every day, for 3 months. So we got to the front of the theater at something around 3 p.m. or like 2:40 p.m. It was like around 3 p.m., I believe, or something a little before that. We knew that the first play of the day started at 2:30 p.m. and the last play of the day started at 7 p.m. So as soon as we saw like the exact time the play started, we were like, oh my God, are we on time? Is he inside? Like we were trying to figure out if the play was actually taking part on that exact moment. Or was it over? Were we late? We were like super early because the play actually ended at 4 p.m. because I believe it was like 1 hour and a half long. So after we got there, me and my friends decided to talk about like what were we going to do next. Okay, because some of my friends wanted to leave and didn't want to wait that long, and some of them like didn't want to see him and were not interested. But me and my friend, the one who was also a Marvel fan, of course we decided to stay there and wait for him until he finally got out so we could see him. I mean, if it was like one of my biggest dreams, of course I was not going to leave and I was going to stay there the whole time. So all of the other friends left and the two of us decided to go to the left side of the theater. And when we got there, there was a street, and on the right side of the street, that was the side next to the wall of the theater building. This side was the side where the fans were going to line up, you know, in a queue to actually get their autographs and their selfies. So me and my friend decided to get in that queue. There was like 3 to 4 people like in front of us already. So there was not a lot of people in the queue, which was really good. As soon as we tried to get in the queue, there were bodyguards, of course. There was like 3 to 4 bodyguards or something like that. And we were trying to get into the queue and they look at us and they say, "You can't be here, you can't be here. You have to go to the other side of the street. You're not allowed to be here. Only people who were watching the play inside are allowed to get into this queue." And I looked at my friend and I was like, oh, so only these people were allowed to be in this queue and get pictures and all that. So the bodyguards told us that we needed to leave and we needed to at least go to the other side of the street and we could be there. So it was fine. So me and my friend got to the other side of the street, which was not far. We were still super close and we stood there waiting. So we waited for about 1 hour and a half and we never left the place. We were there for the whole time waiting. But there was a problem, okay? Do you remember when I said that our teachers actually told us to meet up at 4 p.m. at this exact spot? So the play actually ended up at 4 p.m. as well. So me and my friend were actually getting pretty stressed because we just realized this like way later. So we were looking at each other being like, oh my God, we need to meet up with everyone at 4 p.m. But the play also finishes at 4 p.m. This was a life or death situation. So we literally needed to decide if we were going to stay there and make our dreams come true, or we were actually going to meet up at the exact time our teachers told us to meet up and be obedient. Of course, we didn't do that. Of course, we stayed and we waited for the whole time. So time was passing by and we were really stressed because 4 p.m. hit the clock, okay? And our friends, the ones who were already meeting up with everyone, they were calling us being like, where are you? Like, everyone's waiting for you guys. Like, you guys are the only ones missing. Just hurry up, hurry up. And we were like, we can't. He still hasn't come out. We need to wait. At this point, me and my friend were like completely not caring if we had to go all over the other side of the city by ourselves without even knowing anything or anyone, okay? So basically, we were fighting against the clock. And after 4 p.m., these bodyguards kept going inside, coming outside, going inside, coming outside continuously. And I was starting to feel very stressed because there was like this tension in the air. And at this point in time, there were hundreds of people around us, okay? There were hundreds of people around us. The queue was like super long, like hundreds of people. There was like a lot of people also like behind us, on our sides, like everything was full. The street was full of people, okay? I couldn't even like move myself because there were so many people behind me. And we were like super stressed. We were like, oh my God, we're not gonna be on time. He still hasn't come out. It's already 4 p.m. Like 10 minutes have passed and we were like, oh my God, until there was this specific moment that I remember. This bodyguard came out, and after him, there's a tall, handsome man, a redhead. And guess who it is? It's Tom Hiddleston. As soon as I looked at him, I completely froze. I was like, what is going on? Is this real? I was like not believing my eyes.
Mind-boggling.
And my friend kept telling me, how are you not crying? She was like crying, like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. Like, how are you not crying? How are you not crying? I couldn't have any reactions. I was literally frozen because I couldn't believe my eyes, you know? And so a few moments after that, I started recording, and I actually have a video on my phone that I'm somehow going to let you guys see throughout this video. And I also have pictures. So I noticed like he's very tall. He's actually a redhead, you know, because his hair was like actually way lighter than the brown hair I imagined him to have. And of course, I mean, he is a very polite and very calm person. Like his presence is just something amazing. And he's such a gentleman. Like I was like, wow, like I was impressed the whole time he was there. And besides Tom Hiddleston, there were 2 actors, and the other actors were Charlie Cox and Zoe Ashton. The difference in like noise from the fans when Tom Hiddleston came out and when the other 2 actors came out was like super big, you know? Because as soon as like the 2 actors came out, like fans were like, oh, wow, like, you know, this like very soft kind of screaming. But as soon as Tom Hiddleston came out, like everyone was like, oh my God, like screaming their lungs out. Everyone was like insane, okay? I was feeling this weird sensation in my stomach. Like I was like, oh my God, because I was so excited. I was feeling like butterflies and like, oh my God, this electricity inside of me. I'm so excited, and I just can't. So after all that time they were there, Tom just, you know, steps back and he looks at everyone in his like soft and calm voice with his British accent. He looks at everyone and he says like, bye guys, it was nice to being with you. See you tomorrow or something like that. I don't really remember what he said. All I remember is that after he said goodbye to the fans and to everyone, he hopped inside of this black car and he left. That's it. He just hopped inside of a black car and he left. About the other actors, I'm not sure where they went. I mean, I don't really remember seeing them after Tom was like there the entire time and after Tom left. So I don't really remember where they went. But you know, it's normal because I was not really focused on them. I was like focused on Tom Hiddleston. After he left, me and my friend looked at each other and we were like, oh my God, I cannot believe this literally happened to me. And I started crying. That was the moment that I finally started crying. Like after the whole time while my friend was crying and I was like frozen, after he left, that was the time that I started crying and I literally realized that I just made one of my biggest dreams come true and I'm so happy I can't explain it. So I started crying of literal joy. And we had to leave immediately because, you know, everyone was waiting for us. You know, the students and the teachers were probably like furious. So we left and we met up with them. I was literally crying of so much joy. My teacher looks at me and she says, why are you crying? What happened? I heard there was like this famous actor that you guys saw. Like, how was it? How was it? Like, I was surprised she was not, you know, angry at us because we got there super late. She was actually very nice about it. She was like, oh my God, how was it? Was it cool? And you know, other people were also reaching out to us and asking us like, oh my God, who is the actor? Who did you see? Oh my God, oh my God. Everyone was like commenting. And me and my friend, we look at each other again and we're like, we literally, wow, life is crazy. And that was the exact moment where I realized life is absolutely insane. Because when I tell you, I never thought a single time that I could literally meet Tom Hiddleston. It was an idea in my head, you know? And I was like, yeah, one day I'm gonna meet Tom Hiddleston, like, yeah. But I didn't actually believe it could actually happen. And I mean, I still get surprised after 5 years, you know? And sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, it really happened. But it doesn't feel like it happened. It literally felt like a dream. And after I've told you guys all of this story time, and before finishing this video, I just want to tell you that don't doubt it, okay? Don't doubt it. Just believe that things can happen for you, okay? Dreams come true. And the main reason why I wanted to do a video about this story time is to let you know that nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it. It doesn't matter what dream we are talking about. And if you need a sign, this is the sign. That was a journey. That was a journey. That was, wow, that was cool. So we have reached the end of today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you liked this story time. And if you want to see more of these types of videos, comment down below what you think. And don't forget to give your like to this video, subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. I hope you liked this video. I hope it could help you and enlighten you in any possible way. See you on the next video. Bye guys.